go record on this computer. Yes, started recording. Hi guys, Judith, Victor, Ivy, welcome back. Ndungi, Preni, Elena, James. Today I'm in my favorite t-shirt. I'm ready to change my story. And this is going to be a follow-up on what the work we did yesterday. And that is the exercise I want us to start off with. I want us to start off with the identity mindsets. And this is going to be a practical exercise. Please open a blank page and we are going to do you will go as quickly as you can. That is the aim of this exercise. To do it so often that it becomes automatic, becomes easy to do, because your brain will know it intellectually, but eventually your subconscious mind will buy into it. And that will start to influence you even without you planning or even thinking about it. And that is the aim. So let's start off with that exercise. And I will keep saying things because I am doing the exercise by myself verbally, but I want you to write down. And I want you to write down with the intention to actually start buying into it. So let's start off with the first identity frame. The first identity frame is I am deserving. I am deserving. I am deserving of freedom. You're going to aim to write maybe 5. Let's aim for 5. I am deserving of freedom. And please do the exercise. Please write these things down. I am deserving. Complete it in your own way. Don't copy my words. See what words come to you. I'm just doing it verbally so that we don't leave a vacuum when we are silent and people are writing. I am deserving of freedom. I am deserving of joy. I'm deserving of happiness. I'm deserving of vitality. I am deserving of greatness. I'm deserving of respect. I'm deserving of recognition. I'm deserving of fulfillment. I am deserving of every good thing. I'm deserving of blessings. I'm deserving of great connection. I am deserving of abundance. I'm deserving of growth and expansion. I am deserving of progress. I am deserving of the freedom of choice. I am deserving of great habits. I am deserving of consistency and discipline. I am deserving of creativity. The second mindset is I'm ready. I am ready to change my story. You knew I would say that one. I am ready to change my story. And if I don't have any other way of proving to myself, it's the fact that every single day I'm going to be running these sessions for an hour. There are 4 other things that I'm doing every day, but this is one of them. This is the one that I'm publicly sharing. When the other things are mature enough to be shared, I will share them. But I am ready to change my story. I'm ready to step beyond my past. I'm ready to step above the level I've been living at. I'm ready to operate at a higher intellectual, emotional, spiritual level. I'm ready to experience a new reality. I'm ready to discover a new dimension that I have never experienced. I'm ready to have a greater impact. I'm ready to be more consistent. I'm ready to be more disciplined. I'm ready to face my fears. I'm ready to take action anyway. I'm ready to ignore their opinions. I'm ready to set myself free from their opinions. I'm ready to choose my path no matter what they think. I'm ready to expect great things to happen for me today and tomorrow. I'm ready to find great books. I'm ready to find a mentor. I'm ready to be connected to resources I never thought I would have access to. Identity mindset number 3, I am capable. I am capable of learning anything I want to learn. I am capable of overcoming every limitation I have ever thought I have. I am capable of designing a different life. I am capable of designing a totally different story. I am capable of actualizing my potential. I am capable of feeling free every day. I am capable of healing from every trauma I have ever suffered. I am capable of letting go of every regret. I am capable of overcoming guilt. I am capable of enjoying this present moment no matter what my circumstances look like. I am capable of having impact greater than I have ever presumed I could. I am capable of strengthening my faith. I am capable of strengthening my belief. I'm capable of expanding the vision of my identity. I am capable of discovering my purpose. The next mindset is I am open. I am open to learn. I am open to experience new realities. I am open to be free. I am open for what today has to offer. I am open to grow no matter what comes my way. I am open to learn from anyone I meet. I am open to receive what this present moment has. I am open to embrace this season I'm living in right now. I am open to hear what comes my way and choose for myself what it means. I'm open to let it go if it's going and to let it come in if it's coming, but I will be here. I am open to be more aware of what's going on in my life right now. I am open to the idea that my life might be so different by the end of these 3 months that I will be so grateful I took this risk. I am open for what is coming. I am open for what is possible. I am open for what I do not see, but I need. I'm open to discover what my blind spots are and start overcoming them. I am open for more. I am open for greater. I'm open for new. I'm open for fresh. The next mindset, the next identity frame is I am persistent. I am persistent in the face of discouragement. I am persistent in the face of uncertainty. I am persistent in the face of fatigue. I am persistent in the face of distraction. I am persistent no matter what comes my way. I am persistent in my goals. I am persistent in my self-discipline. I am persistent in my ideals. I am persistent in the pursuit of my purpose. I am persistent in pursuing growth. I am persistent until I reach my goals. I am persistent in insisting that I be treated the way I deserve to be treated. I am persistent. I am persistent when I'm discouraged. I am persistent when I'm excited. I am persistent no matter what season I am in. I am persistent in season and out of season. I am persistent in the morning, in the evening, at night, over the weekends. I am persistent week to week, at the beginning of the month, at the end of the month. I'm persistent when I am tired. I am persistent no matter what comes my way. The next identity mindset is I am a role model. I am a role model. I am a role model for humility. I am a role model for teachability. I am a role model for creativity. I am a role model for courage in the face of fear. I am a role model to people I have no idea about. I am a role model in ways that I do not even realize. I am a role model to people that will never even talk to me and tell me how I inspired them. I am a role model in my life. My actions have an impact beyond what I can see. I am a role model in ways I cannot even perceive. I am poised to become an even bigger role model if I keep growing. I am a role model in places I never even imagined. I'm a role model at the times when I least expect it. I'm a role model in situations where I'm even feeling afraid. I'm a role model even when I'm uncertain. I am a role model because my actions have a ripple effect that reaches people way farther than I can imagine. I am a role model because some of my actions today will keep a ripple effect for years to come. I am a role model because some of what I'm doing might have a generational impact that I have no idea about. I am a role model. This one is difficult to put it into those kinds of words. It's more of it enables you to start viewing yourself from a second and third perspective, because sometimes we become too bought into the one perspective where we are. So here it is you seeing yourself from the third perspective, but seeing yourself from a third and second perspective positively, not negatively. And in which ways can you grow to expand this element of your identity as a role model? The final one, I am changing. I am changing my mind. I am changing my story. I am changing my associations. I am changing my sources of information. I am changing my thought patterns. I am changing my beliefs. I'm changing my routines. I'm changing my habits. I am changing the areas I focus. I am changing how I manage my mind. I am changing how I concentrate. I am changing what I focus on. I am changing my environment. I am changing my house. I am changing my sitting room. I am changing my bedroom. I am changing my kitchen. I am changing my library. I'm changing my wardrobe. I am changing how I carry myself. I am changing how I think of myself. I am changing how I think of my future. I am changing how I think of my potential. I am changing how I think of my past. I am changing my identity. I am changing my skills. I'm changing my behavior. I am changing. Did anybody pick anything? Did you come to any of the areas that we've gone through, any of those identity frames, that today it's connected in a way that was slightly different from yesterday, or it connected deeper than it did yesterday? Or is there any of the statements you wrote which just hit you hard, that might be perhaps the statement you need to focus on for the weekend and say it over and over until you buy into it subconsciously? Not everyone has to share, but just feel free to go ahead and share.
I'd like to share. What has resonated to me is the last belief is that I'm changing my mindset, my stories, my
Wow.
association, and most particularly my beliefs and patterns. That has really resounded, and it all starts with the little things, and you build upon it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I look forward to that.
Whoa. So that for you, for this, actually, you can make it for the next 1 week, for the next 7 days. That for you is a natural inclination. You already are in emotional vibration that is very well aligned with that particular mindset. Maximize it. Maximize it, and just just make it like an automatic mantra for the next 7 days. I am changing. I am changing. I am changing. I am changing. And sometimes when you say I'm changing, something doesn't immediately come to your mind. Say, I am changing, particularly when you are in situations where you're beginning to doubt yourself, right? Or situations where you feel frustrated. Change that situation and command your mind to change, right? Command your mind to act differently in that situation. You will see uh, what that will do. I am I am changing how I view this situation. I am changing what this situation means to me. I am changing what their opinion means to me. Because you can change what their opinion means to you. Their opinion can mean they don't respect you, or their opinion can mean they can't see your whole identity. They can't see where I am going. They can't see what I am thinking right now. They can't see what I'm capable of. So I am changing. You can change. You can change anything. It is just so powerful, as long as you make it intentional and you make it a habit. Come back to it over and over and over. You'll see what happens. It's we are not showing up 1 hour every day so that we count the days until December. We are showing up for a breakthrough, and breakthrough is going to take deliberateness and persistence. And if we do this work every day, 100% without a doubt, 31st December, you need to be introduced to the person you were in October. There are parts of you that will be so different. Somebody needs to introduce you like, hey, Elena, please come, let me show you. By the way, there is this person that you left in 2020. Because
I'm
some of
excited
those
about
parts,
that.
yeah, some of those parts will be so different and so you'll be so strong. There is no relationship. So for you, that's the place to go. Who else is coming on? Anybody else wants to share? At the count of 3, we will move on to the next section unless somebody wants to share. I was going to share, but what else do I share? And what I've already shared with you. This is it for me. I am changing my story. Let me give you a tiny bit, or then Ivy, I'll give you, you'll go next. Let me give you a tiny bit of my story. Actually, if you haven't seen there's a video I did with Engage Nairobi in Kenya. If you haven't seen it, just search on Google, on YouTube for My Two Fathers. My Two Fathers. That is my presentation on Engage, just in February. I was brought up in a rural community. In that community is called Kisii, and it's conservative as they come. But I was born somewhere else, and then I was brought up in that village. And I grew up as a child rejected, 100%. I grew up rejected. You have no idea how much it has taken for me to start to realize I don't have to accept people's rejection for me. There have been times when I pursued a lot of success, but I came to learn that I am actually pursuing this success as a way to soothe the rejection wound I was carrying. And that's when I stopped everything. I said, hey, this journey, you can't outrun your insecurities. You can't outrun your wounds. You can't outrun your deficiencies. You can't outrun your self-rejection, because wherever you go, there you are. I moved from Kenya, went to the UK to do a master's in global health in Scotland. And I was acting exactly the way I was acting in Nairobi. I was doubting myself. Here I am, there's that voice inside that tells me that if you don't get top grades, you won't be accepted. If you're not the best guitarist, you won't be accepted. If you don't play chess better than anybody else, you won't be accepted, right? And then I got to a place where I cut down everything and I said, this is the end of this old story. I'm going to start the new story, and I don't care what it will cost me to get to the new story. And I started living that new story. So I know how hard this journey can be. And that's why I'm going through this journey over and over. Me walking with you is an opportunity for me to go through this journey, but to also give you the opportunity to go through this journey, especially if you've never gone through it. So I am changing my story. That is the story that they used. The man I was in 2012, 2013, 2014, if we meet today, we can't even have a conversation over coffee. We can't. And that's because of the consistency of the actions I continue to take. I have to change my story by myself, no matter what it takes. I am going to be persistent. I am deserving of acceptance. That was the most painful one for me to come to terms with. I am deserving of acceptance because I grew up through all my childhood rejected. Just watch that video, My Two Fathers. You'll get a better idea, which I can't reproduce right now. And now we are going to hear from Ivy. Ivy, over to you.
Hi, thank you so much. To me, I am deserving, because what you have said that you're going through rejection, you did. I am actually going through that apparently. So that's why I decided, at least let me do something this year for me. And that's when I decided to try and change and try and join. Though I wouldn't lie, on Wednesday and Thursday, I was really low. Because, okay, sorry, okay, fine, let me get a little bit personal somehow. How will I
Ivy,
say,
Ivy,
yes.
Ivy, if there's going to be a breakthrough, that's not a breakthrough through the wall. It's a breakthrough through into you. And
Yeah.
we have this space so that you will realize that when I share about me, I don't even qualify it. I just go ahead and share because this is my story. So you don't need to qualify anything. You don't need to feel guilty or nervous. You share. This is your journey. This is your reality. You're owning the story, so that after owning it, then you can start changing it. So go ahead without even apologizing. Just go ahead.
Yeah, so being an outcast, okay, how they say in our tradition, if you know you were born out of wedlock, so you're an outcast. So you get to have all those rejection from your family and all people. So what I decided this year is I am moving out. I am changing my environment, okay? Then from there, that's when I said I need to do something for me. All right. So as much as it is tough, yes, but I am so happy. Trust me, it is better you sleep hungry, but your mind is at peace. So I decided to join the challenge, and to me is I am deserving of happiness, I am deserving of blessings, I am deserving of an awesome life. You see, and also positivity. As much as yes, I usually have this fear of whenever I walk out, people will look at me. Whenever I say something, I'll be questioned. That's why at the start of this at the start of the challenge, I
Yes.
really didn't like when you're using people personally because to me, trust you me, I will do anything not to answer. I will just do anything not to answer. But today, I think it's high time I'm changing my story. It's high.
Oh, Ivy, your mic muted, but oh, you are you are telling me my story with your experience. So I know how lonely it can get. I know how deep those valleys can be. I know how scary it can feel. I know how painful the withdrawal is when you move away. I know how it's a dark, it can be a very dark season, but we are here to support you. We are here to support you. And here is something that I believe is usually a big issue with communities, is that most communities, especially villages, they are groups of people that have never owned their individual identity. They only find refuge in the collective identity. They have never owned, those individuals have never owned their own individual identity. They cannot stand outside from the identity of the village, or we are from this village, or we are from this tribe. So when you get the courage to step away, when you return, you will be empowered to decide what to hear from them, what to tolerate from them, so that you can connect without losing your own identity. Because what happened when you're growing up, when I was growing up, is that the development of my personal individual identity, my integrity as a separate entity stagnated because I did not, you needed to plug in before you form your separate identity. You are a branch. You need to start off by growing from the main tree before you become a separate branch. But now we have to do things the other way. It's for you to find ways to reprogram your mind, to program your emotions and your physiology so that you develop enough resilience to perceive yourself as a separate entity and experience your freedom so that when you reconnect back, you don't lose that identity. Because many times we sacrifice our authenticity just to fit in. And sometimes it's not a choice. In fact, most of the time it's not a choice you're making. It is subconscious because we are wired to seek acceptance and connection. In fact, love and connection is such a strong driver that peer pressure applies to everyone, from adolescents to everyone. So this is, you are taking this journey, Ivy, so that you can transform your capacity to stand alone as an individual in your authenticity and integrity so much that when you connect back, you actually become a resource where you own your story and you have reached a place where you've lost, you are no longer bitter about them, but You say no with a smile on your face and you walk away with no guilt whatsoever. You're like, no, bye, see you. And that's when you start to enjoy and dominate your own space and experience your own space. And that's the place I would want you to go to. And oh, you have no idea how long a journey, how painful it was to cross over that bridge. So I know you will get onto that bridge, then it starts raining, hailstorm, and it's dark and it's very windy. You are alone, you don't have a jacket because nobody has ever taught you how to wear your own emotional jacket to protect you. And that's why these are the emotional turbulences that make it impossible for us to actually live out authentically the vision that we carry within ourselves. Anybody else wants to share now that Ivy has already loaded us our table with something powerful? Anybody else? We will do this exercise again tomorrow, but when you do it tomorrow, try to do it as though it is a totally new exercise, right? Let's now reconnect back to the ingredient of the 4 C's, and we will start off with an exercise. And you will do this exercise with closed eyes. If we are seeking transformation, if we are seeking a breakthrough, it means there are some things that are going to have to break, and we are going to live by a mindset that is totally different than we have lived ordinarily or than other people would expect us to be living by. So this second ingredient is about how to overcome those 4 C's in a very consistent manner. It's about how to overcome criticizing, overcome competing, overcome comparing, and complaining. And all those 4, comparing, complaining, competing, and criticizing, they are underlain by one factor. And unfortunately, that factor applies to other people and it applies to us. And that factor is judgment. Judgment. Yesterday, I gave you the example of you've been invited to make a 30-minute presentation to a group of 200 top business executives in Botswana about how to survive during the coronavirus period. And you visualized this exercise and it caused you to have an emotional reaction. Yet you're seated here and you're having an emotional reaction. And that's because when you look at the mindsets we have, the identity frames we've looked at, for example, I am open. When you feel that fear, it proves to you that you are not experiencing the frame of I am open, but rather you are judging whether this is going to be safe, whether it's going to be difficult, whether you're qualified for it. So it's all underlain by judgment. Every time you've compared yourself to somebody else, every time you've criticized somebody else or even yourself, every time you've complained, every time you're competing, it is all underlain by judgment. And I believe the strongest power to overcome judgment is love. But love is also one of the most misconceived ideas. We will not try to delve into that today. I am not qualified to speak about love in its depth, but I want us to do an exercise right now. I want us to do an exercise. How many of you are mothers? I know Judith, you're a mom. Anybody else who is a mom? I know Victor, you're not a mom, so don't even raise your hand. And I am not a mom. Ivy, Elena, Brainy?
No.
No.
Okay, all right, good. So this, which makes it perfect because we are all coming from the same level. So it's and this connects to the identity frame of openness, right? And I want us to do this exercise, then we can dissect it after that. So I want you to close your eyes. Close your eyes and just breathe deep in and out. You are seated on a bench in a park. It's a green park. It's very wide. It has beautiful trees. It's quiet. The sun is very soft and really pleasant. It's just a gentle breeze around you. And on the bench right next to you, there's a 2-year-old girl dressed in a pink dress. She's looking gorgeous. And you reach your right hand around her waist and you pull her close to you. And you feel so much love for her. You're not even telling her, you are holding her so gently and feeling so much love in your heart that you hope she can feel it. You are allowing this love you feel for this little girl to increase so that you're fully surrounded by love. You can almost feel it from the bottom of your feet through your knees, through your waist, your chest, your neck, to the top of your head, on your hands all the way to the tips of your finger. And you pull her closer because you feel so much love. And another one comes to your right. Now you have 2 of them. And now you are expanding your love to make sure that both of them can feel, without you telling them, that they can feel that you're loving them, that you're radiating love from them. And another one comes and lies on your chest. And now you have 3. So you have to increase your love. And you are feeling love for these children. And 3 more join you. One of them hangs on your shoulder and holds your shoulder from the back. One sits on your knee. They are all surrounding you. Now they are 10. Can you see them? They are wearing the same dress. They are looking gorgeous. Little girls, beautiful little girls. Now there are 20 of them. Can you intensify your love enough that they can all feel it? Can they feel it? Are you feeling enough of an intensity that it can spread to them? You have 20. Now they have increased to 50. They have surrounded you. You're looking around and they are all looking at you. They're smiling at you and you're feeling so much love for all these 50 children. I want you to allow yourself to breathe deep in and out slowly. Breathe deep in and out slowly. Don't say it out loud to these children. Just say, I love you. Just look around over their heads and say, I love you. I love each one of you. I love you. Don't just say the words. Don't say the words loud. Say them in your heart, but feel them. Take a deep breath in and out, and open your eyes when you are ready to open your eyes. This is not an ordinary exercise. Whenever I'm doing coaching, especially in corporate settings, I would sometimes find some people staring at me like, what are you trying to get us to do? But if I am trying to experience a different reality than I have experienced before, then it's upon me to be open. Remember the identity frame of being open to experience things from a new perspective, as long as it's aligned with my conscience and my beliefs, to experience them in such a way that it starts to expand my identity and deepen my experiences. That's one. Number two, if we are going to experience a breakthrough, it is going to be an experience. So it has to be an experiential process. I would have loved to see you when we are doing these exercises, but I couldn't. But I would like to hear what, first of all, did it feel real to you? And number two, if it felt real, what did it feel like? And what did you notice anything happening to you? Did you feel, what did you experience when you're doing the exercise? Anybody, go ahead and share. Abreni?
All right. All right. Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. So when I was like in that process of visualizing, to me felt like I was connecting with my inner child, you know, like the younger version of myself that I had ignored, or the younger version of myself that I let the society reprogram me. And doing that, it just felt like, you know, like nurturing myself, loving myself. And that love, it was so emotional and so deep that I actually cried when I opened my eyes, because it's just like, yeah, can you imagine if you really loved yourself to that extent, the love that you felt? And if you use that like energy to really focus on yourself and not focus on what the world is, you know, telling you to be, or know what you're listening to, and that's just who you are. It's like,
Yeah.
it's like a blissful moment, you know. It's like, yeah, I'll just
Yeah.
say that. And it felt like an extension of God's creation with no limits, no mistakes, and nothing. Everything just perfect. So that was my experience.
I couldn't have put it in better words for myself. And thank you for sharing. I'm going to allow anyone else who would like to share. Anybody else? Judith?
Okay.
Yes, go ahead.
I think for me, like being already a mother was a different experience.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Because at first, like when I just tried to imagine that girl, first thing that came to my mind was like, it's my girl. And now like embracing her, then the second child. So at some point I realized like they are going away from me, like they're overwhelming. And the only thing I needed to do was like to really love myself deep enough so that I can radiate more love to them, because I had a feeling like it's like they're away from me. Like there's so many now, they're 50 and I can't like reach them enough. So I felt like the need to love myself deeper so that I can now have more love to reach out to others. And that's something that is so deep to me.
You went right to the heart of the power of this exercise. You and I are paint brushes. We can't paint a new world without dipping our whole lives in that paint. That's exactly what you have expressed. That it's when it's just one child, two children, three children, then they start becoming five. Once they get to 10. Yet, if we are going to experience openness wherever we go, right, in this world, our biggest weapon is love. First of all, love for ourselves. Because if we authentically start to practice love, we lose all criticism, all complaining, all comparing, and all competing. We let go of judgment and we become open to what there is in that situation. And that's how we make the identity frame of I am open real. If in that exercise, in the midst of that exercise, if I change direction and say, now let's start saying these words, I am open for what this season has to offer. I am open for healing. I am open for restoration. If you start authentically, emotionally connecting to that mindset in that moment, you will go to a place that is way, way deeper than ever you would go just by saying it consciously. So Judith and Brainy, so far for sharing those, you have no idea, you're just planting seeds in me. And this is particularly a season when I'm particularly fertile and ready for seeds to germinate and start growing, right? Hulda, thank you for coming in. Thank you for joining us. Yeah.
Thanks.
Did you catch the exercise?
I just got in when you started the exercise, and I just went with it. So I closed my eyes and visualize all these, the kids and the love. And the more you went on and on, I realized how much I'm running on empty. Because by the time you got to the second third, I realized I didn't even have much enough to give the second, third child love, because I haven't got enough for myself. And it was a big wake up call for me to kind of, start filling my cup so that I can have enough to give, because I'm kind of running on empty. And it kind of worried me, how much we.
You've muted. Yeah.
Yeah, so that kind of struck me, and I feel like today that exercise was a wake-up call for me, to have enough love for myself, and get ready for this experience, to grow, to get to the next level, to progress.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love how you've expressed it. Yes, it's so the exercise is, so this is the aim for this exercise. The aim is that we get to a place where we do it with 500 children, and you experience enough intensity to feel that you can, like when you get that place, like you're looking over to them and you're saying I love you in your heart, that you feel sufficient energy. It's almost electrifying. It's surreal. And yet you don't need anything outside to do it. It is all internal. It's about mindset. It's about readiness. It's about authentically experiencing the identity frame of I am open. I am open, right? And saying I am deserving, and truly knowing that you are deserving. So that removes the brakes. Then from there, it just starts flowing, because it's there. It's there. It starts flowing. It helps you go just slightly above the mind, because your mind is counting the children, and your heart is trying to produce the emotion. Your heart is trying to align you to you, right? Because you don't know you, I don't know me. I authentically come out. For example, when I'm going to speak, the biggest event I had when I came to the US, I was speaking to about 500 people, and I felt so nervous because there were so many people from different cultures that I didn't know. And I did this exercise in those 5 minutes that I'm waiting, so that I can get the authentic me to come out, right? And then I went to the stage without thinking about my presentation. I just know if I am authentic, they have to connect. I have to have an impact if I am authentic. But getting that authentic person to come out, the only key that is foolproof is love, and being able to pour that love in. And the only way to pour that love in is to start pouring it out. Open the portal for it to start flowing out. It's like you've opened the paint can and you're putting in the brush to start painting somewhere else. What happens to the brush? And you are the brush, you have to be soaked. And once you are soaked, it gives you a certain kind of freedom that you actually step out. And I can't explain it. I just know this has been there are like four different strategies. This has been the most powerful in terms of helping me to release and craft the identity that I truly am, to discover where Mogire is hiding. Because Mogire, the 7-year-old and the 6-year-old and the 4-year-old had to protect himself. Because he was rejected all the time, he had to protect himself. But unfortunately, Mogire, the adult, can still continue protecting himself the same way Mogire, the 5-year-old, was doing. And until the day I gave Mogire, the 5-year-old, to experience enough love that he can step out, that he can sit on that bench and hold on to this strange adult, then there will be a part of me I will never discover and I will never experience. That means there is no way for me to fulfill my potential, for me to experience the full depth of my identity and to experience my very best and my very highest, so that then that can pour on to the world. Which is why I will go around comparing myself and criticizing and complaining. I'm complaining about something that is very limited out here, when in here I have power that I can sit by myself and I experience electricity running through me just with my mind, because that power is in here, but it's not been released. And this is how we release it. When you speak about breakthrough, that is breakthrough. Getting yourself to break through the layers of protection, emotional protection, intellectual protection. Sometimes we hide behind status. Sometimes we hide behind humor. Sometimes we hide behind achievement. Sometimes we hide behind failure. Like, I failed, I can't do that. Do you remember? We hide around so many layers. And as long as those layers are in place, there is no room for expansion. There is no room for expansion. It's like going to a tiny little avocado, and then you bring maybe a piece of cloth and wrap it around. This avocado is trying to grow, but there is no room for it to grow. So it ends up remaining stunted in that place where it is. I don't know whether that's connecting with you and what you are picking. Anybody else wants to share? Anybody else before we go? All right, so you're not now going to share about this exercise, so let's just do the final reflection, which will conclude today's session, and then we'll close off. So this is just the overall reflection. Let's start with Ndungi.
Hi to everyone. For me, today has been really thought-provoking, powerful, and especially when you talk about the ingredients for the forces, how to overcome them in a consistent manner. The most underlying factor you said is judgment, and the only way to overcome judgment is through love. Love for yourself it's actually the most important of them all, because you have to fill a cup for it to overflow to these other little ones, So yeah, that's what I have picked up from today's session. Yeah.
Thank you, Ndungi. I have nothing to add. Thank you so much. Ivy.
To me, today, how will I say, it has been very powerful. That's why I think I'm more calm, and it has sparked something in me. I feel it's as if, I don't know. You see the way the winds, well, like that powerful power. I don't know how I can explain it, but yeah, whatever you want, you can get it. Just command it to come and it will. Yeah.
Can you please say that again? Say that again.
Yeah, the last part.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, how did they rephrase it again?
I will say whatever you want, you can get.
Whatever you want, you can get it.
Yes.
All you need to do is command it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's you command it, but you don't command it with your words. You command it with absolute, authentic, total emotional alignment. And at the core is love. It comes to a time when you go for an event or to network, and you don't need to ask for favor because you are ready for favor. You are open for more. You don't need to ask for it. You are ready, right? If, for example, when we were in the middle of that exercise, if let's say you are doing that exercise and you are about to go in for a job interview, right? You don't need to go in and defend yourself. You go in, you can't see it, but they feel it. It is almost a physical phenomenon. They feel the radiation, like they have to, because you feel it so authentically. Whatever you want, you can get it. Please quote Ivy. You just have to command it. Judith.
So I will summarize it by saying I am deserving of love. I can love myself more, and I can show others love. I think that's the whole point I'll focus on and I learned from today's session.
Wow. I love it. I love it. And you having your daughter with you, that is just a free opportunity for you. Like you've come back from work, sit down with her for 7 minutes. She will find it crazy that this time around, mom comes from work and embraces me for 7 minutes, for 10 minutes. I don't know what's going on. She will love it. But when you do it, you're doing it beyond just that physical touch, right? You are giving her love without saying it, to the extent where she will start standing at the door waiting for you to come. And yet, the person who is actually benefiting the most is you, because you're giving yourself the opportunity to practice a higher level of vibration. You come home and you push, it's like you hit your your rod and it vibrates at a very high level until it becomes natural. So that you are at work and an argument arises and you switch on that vibration. These guys are arguing here. You're seated here watching them and waiting for them to complete. And if they have something, you have something, to contribute, you contribute it in a way that it comes to them in a very non-threatening way, because you don't have to be intent on that as long as you are in it's. Let's go with Victor. Are you able to speak? You said you're in a cyber cafe.
Let me try. I hope you can.
We can hear you.
Clear. I'm clear.
Yes.
Okay. What really touched me is the 4 C's, and I've realized if you're still experiencing those 4 C's, that means you're not loving yourself as much as you can. So it's just to figure out what is it that is making you not love yourself, and if you find it, you let it go. Yeah, that's my reflection on the 4 C's.
I absolutely like what you've said. It's it's a very simple way to figure out whether you are feeling good about yourself. When you're feeling good about yourself, you don't. I mean, okay, you can feel good about yourself and still compare yourself to other people, but it feels different than when somebody shows up and like, today she's really, really, really dressed so well, but your mind is like, those shoes are too high, those shoes are too narrow, right? That judgment. It's if you are in the paint bucket of judgment, you have to soak in it, right? You can't touch that paint without it touching you. The other part that I wanted to make a comment on, Victor, is that the ideal would be for us to figure out what is causing all these things and to take those things away. that is a much longer route. The shortcut, the more powerful way is just to experience the emotion we want. Everything that does not belong there will fall away. It's just like switching on, instead of trying to blow away the darkness, just find the light switch and switch it on. You don't need to worry about the darkness. If you actually switch the light on and it comes on, right? If it's like this, and you switch on the light, what happens? I don't know where the darkness went that you were seeing. And it's not necessarily an easy thing to do, but it's something that we can intend to work on consistently. Make it our intention that this is where we want to go. We've heard from Ndungi, we've heard from Victor, Ivy, Elena. So Elena, Brainy, Hulda, in that order.
Okay, so my main takeaway from this is that I've come to recognize I'm coming from African parents who may have not given a priority to emotional authenticity. So I felt that in my relationships, I was a bit closed off. I didn't know how to fix it. And I've gotten to a point where I'm embracing self-love. And through that visualization exercise, I still felt that it was not enough to cater to all the children in my vicinity. I still felt that it wasn't enough. There's more that needs to be done. So something that Ivy mentioned about commanding what you need to fill you up, that is something that has really hit home. And I think that is what I'd work on this weekend as I build upon that as a habit.
Yeah. I love it. It's the power of this process is that you would never know. You can speak about self-awareness, but it doesn't become real until you become aware of the things that really matter. This is one of the things that really, did I say really? Let me say just one
Yes.
more, really matter.
There's so much power in vulnerability. It's so sad that we're coming to get to know about it now. And yeah, it's very, very powerful.
Thank you, Elena. Yeah. Brainy, go ahead.
All right, so I'll just basically go through the last part that you talked, like the exercise that we just did. And that really reminded me when we go back on 4Cs, like about complaining, criticizing. It's like you have to remember, it's like sometimes you can criticize yourself, not because of your circumstances. It's because of your inner child, the younger you. Probably when you were younger, your family, your friends used to criticize you. They used to complain around you. They used to compare you to other people. And since you didn't deal with that younger self, the younger self is gonna show up in different layers. Like, for example, you could be criticizing someone, but you're not criticizing that person. You are criticizing the younger you that you ignored. So that exercise that we did, it really taught me to, be gentle with myself. And it's always good to go back to your younger self and remember when you were younger, what did you do? What happened to you? And really heal that child so you can be able also to move on in your life. And then when it comes to the mindset, also back to the visualization, because I really felt that love, it was very deep. And now since we are doing a 90-day breakthrough challenge, it was just so amazing. Everything you really want, it's already out here in the universe. So it's up to you to act upon it. It's like the way we closed our eyes and you are able to see those 50 kids. And now you're working on probably telling yourself in 3 months, I'm gonna start my business. You can do the same thing. Visualize that, see yourself in already having that business, what are you doing in that moment? If you can experience those 50 kids, then there's nothing you can do. You know, everything has to start with your mindset. Like you said, you know, like be careful how you speak to yourself because you're listening.
Yeah.
So yeah, about that too. And then about you is like, I don't know if you ever experienced something so good in life about someone and then you just like, who sent you? You know? And I felt like I've been working on, you know, like my personal growth journey, and you coming like, you know, at this point in my life, you felt like I wasn't clear about the future, but then it's like you had already walked on this road and you're like, hey, there are two parts of the road. You're like, hey, take this one. I know this is like a clear road for you. Take it. It's just everything is going to be perfect. And I'm so grateful for each and every one of you, because every day I keep learning so much from each one of you, like what you share. And it helps me reflect like, okay, what part do I need, you know, to like work on? And I just want to say like, thank you for each and every one of you.
There's just a powerful authenticity in your voice that is remarkable. So I'm not going to dilute that. I'll just say thank you, Brainy. Hulda.
Wow. I just listened to Brainy, and yeah, thanks for sharing that. It's interesting for me. I know I joined halfway through, but I still got something to take home, because what I felt is every day, it's like I'm looking at myself on the mirror. There's something confronting things that I need to deal with. The more it's like there's a checklist, and every time you look at it like a mirror, then you're saying, oh, I've got these here I need to fix. I've got this, I've got that. And that's exactly what I felt today. And yesterday, after the exercise we had or the mind frame, I kept replaying, and I realized um, I don't have enough love for myself. There's just a part of me that haven't, I don't feel deserving. I don't feel deserving of so many things. And as a result, you know, even when you do things really, really well and someone compliments you, the first thing will be like, it's not that serious. You never want to take credit of that,
Yeah.
you know? And interesting, because then I was doing my devotion, and I read I read about sorry, let's go to the biblical side of it. Um, Moses. Moses is asked to get the Israelites, and it's like, oh, I don't have good speech, I don't have these. He also had his own insecurities, yet God knew he was the right person to do this. And I'm reading later, Stephen, who was stoned, he quoted Moses and say he was one of the people who are good in speech and in word. And I said, oh, you know, the role model thing, that when you think, you know, you're not good enough, you're actually someone else looking up to you. Someone else is reading this Bible story and is saying, oh, look at what Moses did. And yeah, he didn't feel he was good enough. So this is exactly who we are, you know, and I find it more confronting and something I need to deal with. I feel like this was the right season for me to break some of these uh, barriers or obstacles that are getting in my way to being the best version of me that God ever wanted me to be. And I'm just so glad about what everyone else is sharing, because you kind of get emotional in it and realize how damaged of a person you are, and how if you don't fix it right now, how many more people are going to suffer, or just how much you're not living to your best just because of all these things you're not dealing with. And thanks, Job. It's like you came to be that mirror for some of us at this time of our lives. And the other thing I realized was also there are things we haven't dealt with from our, you know, our 5-year-old children, and they're replaying. it's funny how they don't go away. If you don't deal with it, it doesn't just disappear. You have to deal with it. So if you felt insecure as a 5-year-old and you've never had to unpack that insecurity, it's still going to be there until you make an intentional decision to deal with it. And I feel like this is a time and this is a challenge to kind of break some of these things that are in our way, and taking them to the Lord and say, this is me, this is where I am, and help me overcome these.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm so grateful.
I will have nothing else to add because I still have I have work to do in this area today. Thank you, everyone. I wish you life and light and expansion, and I pray that each of you, as you stick with this challenge, that your mind will be blown, that your heart will be expanded, that some layers will fall off, that there will be a tangible change, that you will have something very tangible to look back and say that this changed X, Y, and Z. And I'm committed with 100% of who I am to show up here and just stimulate the conversation. I don't have anything new to offer. I'm just stimulating the conversation and placing a mirror in front of myself and in front of you for us to consciously reflect about these matters, because this is about life and death. Literally, it is about life and death. I would rather do this now than when I'm in my 60s and 70s and 80s. I want to look back when I'm in my 60s and say, that was a good decision I took, and see where it has brought me. If you have anything else to share, please feel free to drop it in the WhatsApp group while it's still constituted as it currently is. Continue practicing the mental diet, continue watching yourself closely on the 4 C's, and continue doing the exercise on the mindset frames. Pick the one that most resonates with you today and do it over and over wherever you go. Just keep doing it. When you wake up, when you sleep, when you wake up in the morning, just keep doing it until I meet you again tomorrow. For this month, I am here every day. That's the challenge I gave myself, every day, most likely until 31st December, but for now, every day. On Sunday, I will be working at the hospital 24 hours, which means I'll be in the hospital. That's tomorrow, during the day and at night. I will still try and do the session at the same time. And if there is a reason to change it to a different timing, because of sometimes emergencies can arise when I'm in the hospital, I will let you know. So I will probably be in a different environment in the hospital, but I will try and still do this challenge. That will be it from me today. This is Dr. Job Mogire from the House of Mastery. I wish you an amazing weekend and see you tomorrow. Goodbye.